blame the poor
Blue
Snowball for
Corporation.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right.
Why are you gonna be so down on the blue?
I don't know.
Jeez.
Got our Christmas tree up.
Ah,
Not
not decorated
decorated yet.
though. What?
No, it just went up tonight. Well, it was tied up, so it needs a night to settle.
Is that a real tree or is that
It's a real tree.
Oh, all right. All right.
Stuffed into the corner back there.
Nice.
Is this
We
to
did it.
celebrate Canadian Christmas?
Yeah, it's a month earlier than yours.
Weird.
We got the fake tree set up.
We celebrate Canada Jesus.
Canada
Tastes like-
Jesus.
Tastes like turkey.
Ugh.
So CJC.
CJC. How's it going, Kevin?
Super awesome. I didn't watch wrestling tonight. Actually, I watched some old SmackDown on the WWE Network. In 2002,
Nice.
which is really good.
Nice.
Oh, that's why you don't have any bandwidth left.
No, it's actually there's something. They said there's something wrong at the plant. It's not the landline. It's something that they have to fix at the plant. So it's going to take like 2 days for them to fix it.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
kind of going shit again here.
And that's the best thing about online text for games. When every time I pause Just Cause 3, it says disconnected from the server. Trying to reconnect to the server. And I can't do anything when it's trying to do that.
Well, I'm just going to go on the assumption that your recording's going to sound better than this. So,
Is- well, I mean, I'm recording myself, so at least
Yeah.
it isn't going
Yeah.
to the internet.
allow
Okay.
myself to introduce myself.
gonna do a clap? Want to clap?
Well, you can lead the clap.
No,
I
I'm
know
not
you're
gonna lead the
hosting,
clap.
but you can still lead the clap. You,
All right,
Son
fine.
of a
Fine,
bitch.
I'll lead the clap.
is everyone recording?
Yes.
Let me check
I've
to
been
make sure I'm
recording for 4 minutes now. I've been
Since
recording.
last night.
I was all excited to start last night, and I didn't want that buzz to go away.
Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, sick.
That was a clap.
Solid. Solid gold.
Hmm.
No?
No, you don't. You don't agree?
Huh.
Nothing? You got nothing for me?
So
Phil?
we need to go to sleep, man. This is like 10:30.
Okay. Here we go. Hello and welcome to episode 474 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, December 8th, 2015. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me as always.
What?
Oh, I thought. No?
That's not how that works.
Oh. I'm your host, Craig Stewart. With me as always. He just flew in from, where were you, LA?
San Francisco?
Just flew in from San Francisco. And boy,
Did he not get a hold of Phil to hang out or anything.
I did experience
that's
a lot
our
of
first segment.
I experienced a lot of PlayStation though, I'll tell you what.
It's Chris Johnston,
Hello.
the guy who goes across the country and doesn't look up one of his best friends.
You know, the same thing happened when my mom came into town for Thanksgiving.
The only day I was free was Thursday night, Phil, and I didn't
Oh.
think
You didn't think to call.
School night.
That's what you didn't think.
For you.
You
So
didn't think to call.
that nasally, whiny baby voice you hear
Yeah.
from the West Coast, that's the loneliest host of the Player One podcast, Mr. Phil Theobald.
I will have you know, Chris Johnston,
Yeah?
that Thursday nights, I have no problem with hanging out. Next Thursday the 17th, which is certainly a school night, I will be staying up very, very late to catch I'm going to go see a movie that night.
Oh, I see.
Sisters?
Yeah.
I'm going to
Sister Act 3? They're bringing that back?
Jeez.
Easy.
You've- Someone's been looking in my fan fiction folder.
Sister Act 2?
Yes, there was.
There already
I've never
was.
seen
Yeah.
any of them.
Sister Act 2.
No, it was Sister Act 2, The Substitute, man. It was like the sequel to The Substitute, but with Whoopi Goldberg.
Exactly.
Actual subtitle was Sister Act 2, Still Actin'. And it was Sister Act 2 on the move.
It's a
Okay.
secret sequel to
Sis-
Jumping Jack Flash.
Sister Act 2, The Secret of the
Jack
Ooze,
Flash.
Yeah.
was weird.
It's Undercover Rex 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Was that? That wasn't the name of that movie, was it? It wasn't Undercover Rex, was it?
What was it? It was something like that.
Whoopi
All right.
Goldberg,
Every time
dinosaur
I have to host this show, I feel so sorry for CJ.
movie.
Exactly. See?
Theodore
Theodore
Rex.
Rex. All right.
Because-
If we started early enough, Phil wouldn't have been here.
All right,
Because
Theodore Rex 2, Undercover Rex. Huh? Eh?
how is a dinosaur going to go undercover? It's preposterous enough to think that
I gotta
Maybe
go.
they
see
should
this.
have.
would be a cop, but
Playing the
but-
part of Mike Phillips this week
Oh boy.
is a guy who's just back from enjoying the wonderful Nova Scotia Christmas tree they've got up in his town. Kevin Larrabee.
What?
Aren't you in Boston?
I'm in the Boston area, and
Well, that's Boston enough.
if I'm Mike Phillips, then I just want to say right now, I love the Fast and Furious franchise. I
Oh,
think
boy.
Kevin Larrabee was right all along, and movies before 1985 are terrible. Although I did just watch a movie from 1981 this past weekend,
And that
Which one was that?
The Right Stuff, which is a movie everyone should watch, and this is the first time I've ever seen it, based on the Mercury space program. Unbelievable movie.
Now, did you find it? Did you see that on like Blu-ray or something?
Amazon Instant Streaming.
Okay, so that's one of the more recent cuts of the film. Did you find it inappropriate
Lots
during
of
the end
F-bombs.
during the ending credits when they added in the New Kid on the Block song?
I
Because
didn't, but
it's a pretty serious movie.
I didn't.
But-
It is a pretty. I mean, you got to appeal to that younger audience today with the
Okay,
broader reach.
okay. Right,
but
right.
That movie is rated PG, and
Right.
the guy from Tremors, I forget the actor's name. He
Kevin
dropped.
Bacon?
Kevin Bacon.
No, the other guy from Tremors.
Kevin
Graboid.
Bacon?
Graboid.
The dad from Family Ties.
Oh, that guy. Alex P. Keaton Sr.?
No. Okay, let's stop. So, like, they
Michael
dropped-
Keaton.
the movie's
Michael
rated PG.
Michael Gross.
Michael Gross. Yeah.
His name is
Okay.
Michael Gross.
Okay, he dropped like 6x F-bombs in this like PG-rated movie, which was really
Well,
surprising. But
It
it's
predates Gremlins and
the Jaws thing.
Temple of
Yeah.
Doom, so you could
You
get away
see,
with more.
PG is parental guidance suggested. It's
Right.
just a suggestion.
One of
Doesn't
the-
work.
Back in the 80s, you could get boobs in your PG.
Yeah, one of
That's
the
right.
Those were the
Right.
days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was an awesome weekend for watching old movies.
the days. And you
Anyway,
know
here we
when
are.
See, I get my weekly dose of Phil. I don't, I mean, you see him in person.
For the record,
I see him every week. I see Phil every week.
Oh,
for the record,
Oh.
for three of us, it's 10:30 at night on a school night.
That's true.
eh.
That's
So
true.
Actually,
we're a little.
you're a little wrong there. For two of us, it's 10:30 at night. For one of us, it's 11:30 at night.
Okay.
The same place that sent you your frickin' Christmas tree.
It's not
Very
even-
up-
Way to show some
Christmas.
gratitude.
It's not even 8 o'clock here. I don't know what you guys are bellyaching about.
And they just went out into the woods and cut it down. Who cares?
It's
Well,
important. It's oh man, that hurts me.
It's hard
It's been
to-
happening for like 90 years, 98 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, so nothing really happened this week in the video game industry, so we're gonna move on to what you've been playing. No, the 2015 Keeley Awards happened this week.
Mm-hmm.
They sure did.
That
Is that what
was-
they're called now?
That
Are
show
they
was
just called the
something.
Keeleys.
Have you
far as we're
seen
concerned.
our Star Wars Battlefront green room,
Oh,
our
man.
special lounge? What do you think of that, Dead Mouse?
I don't play games.
This is the first time I've ever played a Star
Big
Wars video
station
game.
later on the
That
back.
comment was amazing.
Yeah,
It was the
Uh,
first time I've ever played a Star Wars video game.
yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was a thing. It was.
That was a thing.
It was a good show.
No, it was better. It was better.
The churches part was good.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what's up, man.
I still wish that they're still doing that thing. I mean, I know why they're doing it because they need to drive viewership and everything, but they're still doing that thing where at least half the awards are either given off the air or like an afterthought. It's like, and Nintendo wins Best Family Game of the Year. Oh, by the way, this game won 2 other awards.
Yeah.
You know, like,
But how about that win for Splatoon Best Multiplayer?
who cares?
Thought that was funny.
I was excited to see The Witcher 3 win overall.
Right.
Yeah.
That was well deserved. And like Sick Burns by Jade Raymond, talking about David Hayter being the voice of Solid Snake.
Oh,
After
yeah.
Sutherland had been on stage, which was pretty great. And also calling out Konami over not letting Kojima
Yeah.
attend
Oh,
About
yeah,
that.
yeah.
to accept awards for his game. That's pretty effed up.
That is. Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, he's on his vacation. So,
His corporate leave.
yeah. He needs rest, really. He
In,
can't be, you know, taking trans-Pacific flights. And
That's right. Yeah.
Uh,
But overall, yeah, better show than last year. Still not amazing.
But no new Zelda reveal. I mean, you know.
Very little Nintendo, actually. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
when you take out the Iwata tribute, which was nice,
Mhm.
it was nice actually to have Reggie Fils-Aimé doing it because, like, we had a chat channel going for some live snark for the Player One community, and when Jeff started talking about the Iwata tribute, I was kind of rolling my eyes because it's just that, you know, for so long, so many people have been falling all over themselves
Yeah.
ever since he died to mourn him publicly. But it was nice to have somebody actually who knew the man, like at least much closer than most of the people that have done any kind of tributes, talk
Yep.
about him. That was really cool. So that went from something that I thought was going to be very cringeworthy to actually one of the best parts of the show. But yeah, otherwise not a lot of Nintendo going on there.
Yeah.
And like Keeley is usually very Nintendo friendly because he seems like he's got a really good rapport with Reggie.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo is like one of the sponsors or corporate advisors or something like that.
Yeah.
On the show. But yeah, what do you think of some of the reveals, like the Psychonauts 2 reveal?
It was really exciting until you found out that it was a crowdfunding thing.
Right.
I mean, not that that's a bad thing. It's just that it went from, oh my god, they're making Psychonauts 2 to, oh my god, they really want to make Psychonauts 2.
does that surprise you though that that's a
No,
crowdfunding
not at
thing?
all. And like I'm saying, I'm not complaining that it's crowdfunding. It's just the way the reveal was done.
Right.
The original instinct is like, wow, they're making Psychonauts 2. It's, oh, when no, they're not.
Well,
sure.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they
they're
are.
going. They
More
will.
than halfway funded already. In
I mean, yeah, they're going to make the goal.
Well, okay, yeah, okay, now they are, but like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't. I don't know.
I think this is a trend just in terms of shows. I think we're going to see new crowdfunding efforts starting up with every single show,
Yeah.
whether it's
Sure.
E3, Penny Arcade, or whatever. I think you're going to see a major one each show now.
It's you know, the weird thing is though is Psychonauts was not a very good game.
You know, I really
What?
I loved Psychonauts when it came out.
Yeah.
But it was what, on PC recently? Yeah, when it came out on
Yeah.
PC a couple years back, and it was on the Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
I grabbed it and I turned it on. I was so excited to play it because I hadn't played it since it came out.
Can't go home.
And it was hard to play.
It's I mentioned this on Twitter not too long after the announcement, and I felt super bad about it because so many people are hyped up about it, and good on them.
And
Good
it's
on-
it was
I
a
do not
good game
disparage
back then.
Anyone's
Super creative.
enthusiasm about this, but you know, I thought it was a funny game. I thought it was cute. You know, I thought it was
Creative, yeah. charming
charming and all that. Oh yeah, super creative. When it came down to actually being a game that I play, though,
You don't think that can be improved this time out, though? Like,
Oh, yeah,
I
it
feel
sure
like
could.
they can. You've got, you know, what, 10, 12 years of of 3D platforming behind you now. Like, you can.
does
I think
Double
they could do a lot.
does Double Fine have that?
I mean, they did Brutal Legend and all that. I mean, they've got stuff by, and then they can. I feel pretty good about.
No. I
I'll
mean,
still
it's not
play
like
it.
I'm.
Don't get
It's
me
not
wrong.
like I'm not going to play it. I will
Plus, I
play
mean,
it.
last time around, what was it? Majesco funding the game. You don't. I mean, we don't really know the production story of the original game. Like, and maybe there was stuff they wanted to do that they couldn't do because
Well,
of
we know the
timeline and budget and whatnot.
production story of the original game was because they actually happened to do that. Wasn't there some kind of Ed Free, like some kind of documentary going on where Ed Freeze was going around looking? I think it was Ed Freeze going around looking at all the different third-party developments because Psychonauts was originally going to be published by Microsoft.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I think it was around the same time that Oddworld had the same issue because they were doing Stranger's Wrath. And they showed the games on this documentary, and then I think at the end of the documentary they talked about how Microsoft dropped both of them. So, yeah, because Psychonauts went through a lot of different publishers, didn't they? Or was that Brutal Legends?
That was Brutal Legend.
Yeah.
Went through two.
But anyway, I mean, like I said, I was super excited when the trailer came out. We came
Heck
on
yeah.
a little less excited when it's like, oh, okay, so it's not necessarily a thing that's happening for sure, although obviously it seems like it's going to happen at this point.
Yeah.
Didn't they also, is this where they, oh no, that was PlayStation Experience where you made other announcements.
Yeah.
What else did they show at this? I honestly don't remember.
You don't remember any of the other reveals? I don't either.
That's how exciting it was. Nice to see that No Man's Sky is becoming like the most decorated game that hasn't been released yet.
Yeah,
One
just
of
like
the
Fez
earlier.
was a couple
Yeah.
long before that game came out. And The Witness.
Her story got
Also.
a lot of love at the show.
Yeah, that was great to see.
Really great to see Rocket League getting some recognition.
Yes.
Excited to see that it's coming up for Xbox. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, it was pretty decent. Yeah, Splatoon did get a few awards, you're right.
It did. It's a great game.
And then the PlayStation Experience happened.
That's
They
right.
featured this video from Adult Swim.
Yeah,
that
a
one of their
little
producers was on.
publisher.
Speaking
Yeah.
of games that I'm sure some people are excited about, but I just can't bring myself to care. No. Hey, what's that Castlevania looking one you guys have?
Actually, everything you showed looked really effing good, and
Oh,
I'm
well,
not
thank
just
you.
saying that because you pay my salary, but
What's the name of the Castlevania looking one?
It's Death's Gambit.
That looks
By
great.
Rabbit. Yeah, it is.
I have this out of all of them that you showed, and and CJ, they all looked wonderful.
they do
Well,
all
thank
look great.
That is the one that most turned my head and said, these Adult Swim kids might make something for themselves one of these days.
Well, thank you, Phil.
keep
for
trying.
saying
You're
so.
welcome.
We were lucky enough to be part of the PlayStation Experience keynote. We did a little video for that, which
Yeah.
was awesome, showing off 6 games that we're publishing on PS4 in 2016. That's kind of a crazy.
I can't believe
number.
you guys are doing 6 games on the PS4 in 2016.
Yeah, that's right. It's a lot.
You guys are going all in with this. You guys think this PS4 is going to be around for a while?
I think this
You're doing it
PlayStation
all
thing.
wrong, by the way. You should have announced these like 3 years ago.
Oh,
They just gotten awards for them for the last.
well, I'm sure there will be upcoming delays, right? I mean, isn't that what everybody does? They just delay everything.
Well, you need
into,
a 4 gigabyte day one patch.
Oh, right. We'll definitely have that. So,
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
you
were-
got what do you got here? What are the games you got? You got,
We got Death's Gambit,
yeah,
Raise the
awesome.
Dead, Small Radios, Big Televisions, Duck Game, Headlander,
Mm-hmm.
which looks
and
fantastic.
what am I forgetting?
CJ.
Rain World. Rain World.
Rain World. Actually, that was one that I thought looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
When you first saw it, it just looks really pretty. But then when I actually started to hear, when I watched the video with you and I assume I don't know who the other guy was exactly to you, but talking about the actual mechanics of it, about how
Yeah.
you gotta get to a new shelter before it rains, basically,
Before the rain cycle comes. Yeah, exactly.
and it's all procedurally generated animation.
Yep.
Very cool.
That's right. And you're this little slug cat. You are like at the bottom of the food chain, and everything is dangerous to you, and you have to find weapons in the environment to fight off these larger creatures. It's really good.
Yeah,
It's a
that
lot
was
of fun.
actually Headlander is kind of definitely my most anticipated of that group, but that one has I think taken second spot. I'm really interested in that one.
Yeah, Rainworld is very cool, and yeah, Headlander got a lot of great stuff too. So all these games are PlayStation 4 console debuts.
Nice.
So PC and PS4 at launch for these, and Headlander. Yeah, we did the first playable demo at the show, so got to watch people
Oh,
come up
nice.
to play the tutorial area, which is
That must
awesome
have
to
been nerve
see.
wracking.
Yeah, kind of, a little bit, but most people got through it, so that was good. There are videos online I'll link to in the show notes. You can watch Lee Petty, who's the director of the game, who also did stacking at Double Fine, and he kind of walks you through some of the things going on in the demo. So I'll link to that in the show notes. But yeah, it was a really, really great PlayStation Experience show. I really liked it because it's not like PAX where there's like one main floor and then like a satellite area that nobody goes to. Everything is kind of like mixed together, so you had like big AAAs right next to indies on both the first and second floors of Moscone West. And there was no like one place, like Destiny was on the first floor, but if you wanted to play Uncharted 4, that was on the second floor. Like they had a good mix of everything, and some of the games even had their own areas and booths, like MLB The Show 16 had a sports bar up on the second floor. It was
Right.
just MLB in that area. It was a really cool setup. I really enjoyed it, and I hope they do it again next year, and I hope more people go. Yeah, they had like 20,000 people at this one, and they sold out
Jeez.
tickets.
It's growing.
So-
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a great, it's a great idea. I mean, and
Yeah,
I
it is.
like what you're describing is awesome because I mean that's kind of been their message for the last couple of years, right? Is like the indie games are just as important as the AAAs.
And I mean, you can say that kind of thing, but actions speak louder than words, and Sony's making it happen, and it's great. Great to see.
So the real question is, did you get to try out Res with the
Right.
virtual?
I did
No,
not.
with the vest and everything.
I did not get to try that. That looked cool though, right?
Mm-hmm.
When that Res music started, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Res remastered, yes.
And it saved that VR demonstration because that started out a little rough with the two guys on the stage, and
Oh yeah.
it didn't work so well.
No,
But
that
it's-
didn't look all that fun.
No, it didn't, and it's weird because it's kind of like I said, when I went to the Montreal International Game Summit a few weeks back, they had VR running, and like it was Playroom or whatever they call that.
Yeah,
game
Playroom VR. That looks
looked
great,
great.
actually.
It looked
Yeah.
it was really charming, and I was surprised they didn't show it at all. But it seems like they're showing something different every time they trot it out.
Yeah,
So-
I hung out in the media room for a little while on Sunday, and they had the Playroom VR. They had the EVE Online thing, which looked awesome,
Mm-hmm.
and they had Drive Club VR too.
Really?
Yeah,
Ooh, that's
so
interesting.
some pretty interesting stuff.
I actually rebought Drive Club
Oh
just
yeah,
for the bikes. I bought it for the bikes. Love the
Drive
bikes.
Club bikes.
It was like $15.
And then the 100-foot robot golf looks awesome. I don't know
Yeah,
how that's going to be for a VR game, but it looks cool.
it's different.
Yeah,
But so, did you try VR at all? I mean, I kind of
didn't.
assumed you didn't.
I didn't know. I was mostly working the Adult Swim Games booth.
I meant more because I figured you'd throw up if you tried
Well,
it.
and that too. There's that too. Yeah, I only played 2 games at the show. Well, other than the Adult Swim games, which I played all day long. Played the Ratchet and Clank remake.
Oh,
So good.
Looks
Oh.
so good.
Oh, yeah?
I'm so excited for that. It's gonna be awesome. It looks great, plays great, of course. And then I played Monsters and Monocles by Retro Dreamer, and it's a dual stick shooter for PS4. Really cartoony graphics, really bright, colorful stuff. It's got some pretty awesome style. It's a 4-player simultaneous twin stick shooter coming out in the middle of next year.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Only 2 games I played the whole weekend, except outside of the Adult Swim games, which of course I played.
You played the good ones. So.
Yeah.
Hey, CJ,
Yeah.
can I ask you an Adult Swim Games question?
Go ahead.
Which one is your least favorite? No,
I knew
no.
it.
Actual,
I knew that was
actual, legitimate question.
What's that?
Will we ever see a sequel to Super House of Dead Ninjas?
What about Ed, Ed and Eddie?
No comment.
No comment. Okay, I'm just gonna
So
throw this
that's
out here.
coming.
I love
2017.
love Super House of Dead Ninjas.
I like that game a lot too. I really do.
Okay. That said, I am looking very much forward to Adult Swim's 2016 lineup coming
Well,
soon
thank you.
to PlayStation
Thank you.
4.
Do you think now that you're doing PlayStation 4 games, you'll actually be allowed to have a page on Giant Bomb now?
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Does Adult Swim Games not have one?
I don't know. I just remember years ago I tried to add CJ to their database, and I got a message back from the moderator saying that Adult Swim doesn't do real video games, so...
That's amazing. That is amazing.
That was back when you were doing most of the Flash games, so...
Oh man.
Well, we're doing console games now. We're doing these 6 games for PS4, and then we've got some stuff for Xbox as well. So
You guys got like a dozen PC games under your belt, though.
Well, this
by
was
now.
years ago.
and
This
PC
was-
games at this
I don't
point.
know. It was funny to me years ago.
Yeah.
It's like 8, or I don't know. It was when Giant Bomb started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone was pissed off about Robot Unicorn's popularity
Yeah.
at that time. I
I
have a
think
feeling.
that's why I tried to add it, actually. But
Yeah.
So there was one other big event this weekend that I'm sure all 3 of you watched, which was the Canadian Video Game Awards.
No. Well, we didn't talk about Final Fantasy VII Remastered.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on. Like, we didn't
multiple
talk about the-
episodes. Who cares?
The latest. What is it? Like Telltale Games is doing it now. Is that what the deal with this is?
No, but I just remembered one of the other big reveals at the Video Game Awards was the Telltale Batman.
Yes.
Great.
Yes,
Why not?
that I will play.
I'll play that. Hell yeah.
There was
Anyway.
4 Vita games announced.
Pull me back in. What is it?
Four Vita games. They were all cross-buy or whatever. Not a single
Yeah,
Vita game.
they're kind of. Oh yeah, and Vita.
And I loved how was it you? Of course, he was up. It's like, and it's coming to Vita.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, thank you. For
Hey,
the
there-
last
there were-
week, too.
There were a couple of Vita games at PlayStation Experience. Day of the Tentacle Remastered in the Double Fine booth was set up on a Vita.
Nice.
And Atlas had a booth, and they were showing off some Vita stuff.
Got left down.
Or maybe
I
it
got a
was...
game
It might have not have been Atlas. It might have been somebody else.
probably XSpeed or NIS America. Like those are the only three
Media
companies.
Factory or Idea Factory, something like
Yeah.
that. They were showing off Neptunia on Vita. I mean, you know.
Yeah, those.
That counts.
The booby games.
But isn't MLB The Show, I think, is coming out on Vita also?
Yeah,
No,
but
I thought they
it's
killed
like
that,
a
didn't
legacy game now, like FIFA, where they just update the rosters.
Yeah.
Like last year's, they actually they sold a retailed box version with a voucher in it, which was just
Oh.
a game with updated rosters. 14 with updated rosters.
Okay.
So
Like NASCAR 15.
right, it's the NASCAR 15 syndrome.
Yeah, because NASCAR was the first game to do
What do you
that.
think about the Destiny bike racing thing they did?
The
That got a lot
audience
of
seemed like
cheers.
they loved it.
It was interesting, and Greg, you said you didn't think the PlayStation Experience keynote thing was all that exciting. It was definitely a different vibe being at that show. Like, so many people
sure
were
it was.
cheering for
Yeah.
Destiny and cheering for Final Fantasy VII. People went crazy for that.
Yakuza 0 is actually a big announcement. That is a fantastic
Yakuza got a
announcement.
lot of...
Actually, I meant
lot of
to
cheering.
grab Yakuza on the PS3 because that was 5, right?
Five
Yeah.
comes out tonight, and
Yes.
Yakuza
Like
0 is
50
really
gigabytes.
cool. Yakuza 0 is really cool though because it's like it's 1988 Tokyo.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna. I'm getting that, no question.
A lot of
And it's
cheering
coming
for
to
that.
PS4.
Yeah.
A lot of cheering for
Well,
Battleborn.
there was some good stuff there. It felt like it ended kind of slow.
Mm.
That's
You know,
all.
like Unreal's take on the MOBA.
Yeah, Paragon.
Like, I don't even remember these names. Like, these all sound so generic at this point. Like, Paragon, or like all these MOBAs and like Battleborns and Battleblades and Bladeborn. Like, these names are just
Blade
kind of
Battle.
all mixing together a lot. It's really hard to stand out at this point with all these free-to-play games coming out, and I guess, the Blizzard
some of
game's
those
not
aren't.
free-to-play, but
Some of those aren't free to play. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
the Blizzard's a full-price game, but
Yeah.
Yakuza 0 looks dope.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
That was a good
We're getting
announcement.
buzz again,
What
which
about
is
Ni no Kuni 2? Ni no Kuni 2.
I
Okay, who
can't-
played
you know
that
what?
game?
That's
Played it.
bored. I played it for
How
about
long?
4
I played it
hours.
too. I didn't
Yeah,
fit.
how's Persona 4
yeah.
going, Greg? Oh,
No, and it was just, it didn't hold my interest.
I listened this week, and I just gotta say, like, way too negative on Persona 4. Just keep playing it.
I'm not being negative. I told you I like it.
And the save file does tell you how long you've been playing, so if you want to take a look.
Yeah,
Yes.
no. The whole reason I didn't look is because I had it. I had it sitting in the middle of a cinema scene. I didn't want to skip it to check the save file.
The Persona 4 Defense Force is here today.
And I mean, the Persona 4 cinema scenes can take about 30 minutes each. So
And it's awesome looking anime, right?
it is.
Uh,
I'm not
That's the
complaining. I like it. I'm actually in the actual gameplay now. I'm actually running down corridors and attacking things and getting into battles and.
down corridors, you
So-
say?
Uncharted 4. That new cinematic. What do you think?
More
awesome.
like
I'll
an
take anything
unfarted
Uncharted 4.
chore. I really
come
hope
on.
that game's bad. So
That game continues to look awesome.
oh,
I just want it to be out already.
Mike Phillips wants everyone to know that the
yeah.
multiplayer beta is amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
There were
That's
a
better.
bunch of really, really good announcements at PS Experience.
Mm-hmm.
There were. It just didn't. I don't know.
there was a
The keynote fizzled. after a
big
while.
big announcement from Double Fine that's
right.
really got me excited.
Full Throttle.
Full Throttle.
Yeah.
That's
Full
right.
Throttle.
Another one I've never played.
Oh, I love me some Full Throttle. Full Throttle's so good. It's a relatively short game and it's a relatively easy game,
Sold.
but just in terms but just in terms of characters and storyline and storytelling, it is so much fun. Such a great game.
I
Great
tried.
characters, great voice acting.
I bought their most recent re-release, which was
Grim Fandango.
thank you, Grim Fandango.
Mhm.
Yes.
Didn't do anything for me.
Yeah?
No, I think I don't know. Maybe it just hasn't aged very well. I just
Just
I got
in-
into that
In
adventure
terms of the
mode where I just didn't know what the hell to do next, and I was stuck like that for a while.
what wasn't getting you? Was it the gameplay or was it the story?
I didn't see much of the story because I liked
Mhm.
what I saw of the story. I just got stuck.
Okay. Okay.
So I kind of lost interest. But I mean, I love the characters.
Maybe well, that was their first LucasArts. That was their first dip into 3D adventure games back in the day.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe that's what you were feeling.
I think you're right, and not because the 3D was bad or anything, but because it
Right.
still has that pixel hunt
Right.
gameplay that they did in all their 2D games. But in
Right.
3D, it's kind of that much more annoying.
Right.
So which is too bad because I liked everything else about it. But but yeah, I mean, Day of the Tentacle and
Yeah, Full
and
Throttle.
Full Throttle, I'll be grabbing for sure.
Both 2D originally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely where my heart lies on games like that. So
Yeah.
I want them to be 2D. Anything else we want to talk about on PlayStation Experience there? Anybody? CJ? Phil?
I don't think so.
Mike?
A lot of good stuff, though. Really.
So what
It's
happens
not
if you're
mine.
wearing if you're wearing the res vest
Ejaculation.
and you slip you pull out your trance vibrator from the old Dreamcast or PS2 and you slip that down the front of the vest? Does it just wiggle itself out of existence? Does the power just disintegrate you?
If you have a heart attack, it actually revives you automatically.
Okay.
I will say it was interesting. So they did that whole thing with the suit, and they showed Mizuguchi, took off the helmet at the end, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is
And
that all
I
on
don't
the screen?
think I don't think anyone in the audience knew who that
Who it was.
I knew it. I knew
You know
who that
what?
was. I was like,
You know what-
oh, all
You know what
right.
would have been a great trick? Mizuguchi puts on the helmet, plays through a level, takes off the helmet. It's Kojima.
Boom.
There it is.
That's-
Some David Blaine street magic for you.
I feel like there's a tinge of racism in that joke somewhere.
It's really
Yeah.
because I was going for just pure
I feel
unadulterated.
like it's something the WWF would have broadcast.
I was just gonna say that is a Vince McMahon. It was me all along.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Even my
go.
family, even my close family.
I don't get this reference.
He was part of this Ministry of Darkness, and Vince McMahon was a mystery. Forget it.
Of course,
Forget it.
this is the guy who owns WWE. Right?
But he was acting like he didn't know who this mysterious hooded man was this
Oh,
whole
okay.
time.
Okay,
But
It was
then
him.
it was him all along.
the greatest thing ever is that up on the Jumbotron.
Oh my gosh. I was wrong.
Okay, never mind. Forget
It was Earth all along.
Just the
Forget.
matter of factness that you. Well, yes, the owner of the company was part of this Ministry of Evil. You see, and he had. Oh, there it is.
WrestleMania, baby.
There it
Boom.
is. Representing the colors.
Tables, ladders, and chairs this Sunday on the WWE Network, just $9.99. Vince McMahon wanted me to, on NeoGaf, wanted me to make sure I drop some more of wrestling next time.
Oh, okay. I see.
By the way,
I see.
Greg, Horizon Chase. You remember Horizon Chase? It's an iOS game that we talked about a little bit.
Oh, the
good
yeah,
game.
the Outrun game.
The Outrun
yeah,
game. Yeah, that's
a fine
coming to
game.
PS4.
What?
Cool.
Yeah, they had it
What?
at PS Experience.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool. That's a
Yeah.
good
Maybe
game.
$2. If it's gonna be $2 again, I'll buy it.
Hmm.
I think it might be a little more than $2, but
May not
it's
be
still
$2.
worth buying.
But now you can play it with an actual controller. So
Yeah. Snapu.
think about
Actually,
that.
no,
Snafu.
if you have a made for
Snapu.
iPhone
Suddenly,
controller,
I'm the one who's racist.
if you have a made for iPhone controller, you can play
Yeah.
it with a real controller right now.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those, and I'm not buying one of those.
Well, there you go.
You guys didn't watch the Canadian Video Game Awards?
Of course not.
You guys suck.
I had an excuse. I was at PlayStation Experience all weekend.
Did Next
you
Level
know.
Games win all the awards?
No, they didn't release anything this year.
I had an excuse. I'm American. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about them, but it is a thing. It's something that Victor Lucas and the Electric Playground people have been putting on for 6 years now.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. We've got a fairly big video game industry happening up here. I think we just became second in the world per capita for game jobs behind the U.S. Yeah, ahead of the UK and Japan, as far as I know. So anyway, but the thing with the Canadian Video Game Awards is that it's always Ubisoft or Electronic Arts that wins anything AAA games. Although Clay won a few things. this year,
So,
which was kind of cool.
so how is that any
Invisible
different from?
Yeah, BioWare won something.
Oh, okay.
Invisible Ink. Have you guys played that?
No.
No.
It looks really cool. By Clay Entertainment.
Yeah, that's coming
Don't
out
Starve
for.
People.
Oh yeah. Well, I really want to play it because I like their stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, it's coming out for PS4, right?
Mhm.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I will. It's been sitting on my my wish list on Steam for some time, but
It looks really neat.
yeah, I think I'm just gonna hold off and get it on PS4 now because I dug Shank and Mark of the Ninja is pretty outstanding. So
And
So what do
it's-
you guys think of this PS2 on PS4 thing, huh?
I
Oh, yeah,
think
the games are
$15 is expensive,
Mhm.
and I think
$15 is expensive. What?
Yeah,
For a
sure it
PS2
is.
game?
For a PS2, for an old
for a
PS2.
PS2 game for a game that's
Sure it
Ga-
is.
For games being up-resed and given trophies too?
yes.
I remember this discussion like a year ago or whatever. It's like, why doesn't Sony just dump a bunch
You
of
know
PS2
what?
games on
You
and
know
and give them 1080p graphics and trophy support, and I'd pay $15 for it. And now
Here's
it's
the
happening,
difference.
and now
But
people
not
are
for
complaining.
dark
Here's the
cloud.
difference. A year ago, you could not put your Xbox 360 games into your Xbox One and
Yeah.
play that game for free on the new system.
How many
Choke
times have
on
you done
that.
that? Greg, let me ask a serious question. How many times have you done that in the last 2 weeks?
In the last 2 weeks?
Wait. By that logic,
That's a
by that
random.
logic, why would you pay the $15?
Yeah.
Or
You're
how many
suddenly
times have you done
arguing
that
against yourself.
Since you were able to do that, how many times have you done
Probably
it?
10 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
Stuck
wouldn't it
on
be
what
better?
Johnson games.
Now,
Which
Greg,
games?
wouldn't it have been more satisfying if you had to pay $15 each one of those
Yeah,
times you did
Exactly. Exactly.
that?
See?
Well, in the Xbox's case, they didn't change the graphics at all, and they didn't add Xbox One trophies or.
I will
Stuff like that.
will concede that upresing them is important because they're PS2 games and they don't look that as good as they don't look that great anymore.
They don't look good.
Because they're definitely the pre-HD TV era, but
Trophies are worth $15.
if you're gonna, you know what? If you're gonna have emulation working on the system, let me put my damn game in the system. If I own that game, let me put it in the system and play
I
it.
do. I
Or-
agree. I agree.
Or at the very least, if I already bought the game as a PS2 classic,
Yep.
then
A
let
digital
me.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's messed
Upgrade
up.
pricing.
Yeah, that's
agree.
messed up.
Yeah, because I have a handful of PS2 classics I bought on
Same
PS3,
here.
and then it's like, okay, well, have fun paying for them a third time.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I
that's
don't.
Yeah.
I honestly don't agree with even paying for them for the upgrade the way Nintendo does it, but that's still better than what Sony's doing right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
we'll see how it goes.
That
I'm
said-
interested to see what else they got planned for this program.
That
These
said,
games should be like hard to find games that people are always asking to play and always asking for the re-release. Like they should have like the Personas on there. They should have
you
like
and your
God
personas.
Hands. You know, the games that will never get a remaster that are in low print numbers. Like if they did that stuff, it's one thing. But if it's like a game that you can literally like, there's still PS2 discs at your local GameStop for $1, like Dark Cloud. That's not worth $15. I don't know what the Dark Cloud hardcore community of fans are. That's
Here's
the only thing.
I mean, on that point, I mean, these things will go on sale. I have no doubt. I mean, you'll be able to get them for less than $15. So if you don't like the debut price, then let's just wait.
Well, what did you saw that they have a $100 a year version of PlayStation Now?
Now.
Yeah, so you can get 100 years
Now.
a year of PlayStation Now for $100.
And what does that give you?
$99.
It's the streaming service where you can play PS3 games
Correct.
on your
I know.
PS4.
You guys love this. We talked about my new Blu-ray player plays PlayStation Now games.
Yeah.
See, that's pretty cool.
So I'm just saying that might be another alternative, and that's just something that popped up this week I wanted to mention real quick.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, we were talking about that last week. Mike was talking about the pricing being all screwy, but $100 a year is actually.
That's not too bad.
That's the Netflix price you guys talked about last
that's
week.
exactly it. That's
$8 a
totally
month.
reasonable.
Yeah.
I would consider that.
And that's a limited time offer. That's not like a
Oh,
okay.
well, that makes it less
continued.
enticing. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying that out to see if people go for it, I guess.
Lock it in now.
I will, at the drop of a hat, throw down $15 for a re-release of Guitar Man.
Right.
Oh,
Without
hell
hesitation.
Oh, man.
Without hesitation. I will say
exactly.
failing
Well,
all
wasn't
things.
wasn't Mark of the Cree one of those games that people were all hot over and didn't really get any popularity and has become rare, or am I thinking of something else?
No, Mark of Korea, I think would fit that.
That was one of the
Description.
that's one of the titles, right? Well, one of the $15 titles.
Well, I mean,
The
yeah.
Mark of Cree, buy it now, $4.09, free shipping.
I mean, yeah, you can go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty rare, pretty hard to find. 124 listings on eBay as of right now.
But they don't have trophies, Phil. They don't have trophies.
That's touche. $2.50. Buy it now.
All right, shall we move on?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
move on
I think
because
we've
we
beaten this
wanna-
dead horse.
Yeah,
This
It's
dead
getting
1080p achievement.
Trophy-riddled horse.
let's
to
let's
death.
move on to what you've been playing. Kevin,
Hey,
you haven't been on in a few weeks. I want to hear
No.
about Just Cause 3.
hey, Just Cause 3 is an awesome game on the personal computer platform.
I picked it up on Xbox One.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So, Just Cause 3 is Just Cause 2, but you now have a wingsuit, and the explosions are bigger, and you can attach tethers to multiple things and hit the L button and cause them to get pulled together and cause incredibly crazy explosions. And the loop of this game is just crazy shit constantly happening, and no matter where you go, you can have a new playground, whether it be a power plant, whether it be like an oil refinery, or whether it be some other building that's not like it's just surrounded by explosives for no really good reason, but they're there just in case. And then you have helicopters coming in to take you out, and your helicopter gets shot down. So you jump out of your helicopter, you grapple onto the new helicopter, you put a bomb on the thing, you pull the guy out, and then you're using this helicopter that now has missiles instead of a machine gun, and then you dump missiles on people constantly. And when you do that, you're liberating a territory. Like, it is Operation Freedom on a global scale, but on a island scale, but in global warfare type scale, because you get access to just unlimited remote bombs that you can attach to stuff.
Yep.
The grapple stuff, which is just grappling like helicopters together. Like if you have two helicopters above you that are shooting at you, grappling them together, pulling them together so they smash into each other and explode, and then those helicopters fall on dudes that are shooting at you. What I'm trying to say is, this game is a lot of fun. I think I put like 10 hours into it, and it's like the Fallout things, DJ, where you're like kind of going on to missions, but then you stumble upon this base, and you're like, dude, I gotta take out this base.
You stumble upon a school, and you're like, I'm taking this out.
Yeah, I gotta liberate these.
Towers.
I gotta blow up all the gas tanks and liberate this school. So the one detriment is that there are basically similar town areas where there's a statue of the dictator, there's a bunch of speakers, there's sometimes these like transmitters that you have to take out and billboards, and all you have to like really do is you just go to those and you blow them up and you liberate that town, but you kind of have to do that to unlock missions. But at the same time, it unlocks like new vehicles and unlocks new weapons when you're doing all that stuff. So it's really good, and I'm that asshole now that's like, yeah, if you play it on the PC, you're gonna have a good time because it runs great. And
You're that guy.
No, I'm totally that guy, and I'm also that, like Mike was talking about last week. I can't understand curved TVs. I bought a curved TV. That's 4K.
What is wrong with you?
Oh my gosh.
But I'm a huge asshole this week. So, what I'm trying to say is, if you can get this on the PC, even on low-end PCs, it actually seems to be running really well. Load times are fast after that initial load, and it is such a blast when it's just constant mayhem, and just a really fun change of pace. It's really lighthearted, and I just hope they patch it up for the consoles because you guys deserve to play this unbelievable game.
I did not find it to be unplayable at all.
How are the load times? Did they
perfectly
patch that?
playable on the Xbox One, and the frame rate, seemed fine to me. I'm not a frame rate snob, so take that with a grain of salt. But I was having a lot of fun. I have not played all that much, but and I'm terrible at the wingsuit. Awful.
Okay, that's not your fault because you actually get an upgrade that makes him a little bit better at pulling himself if you grapple with the wingsuit to give yourself more momentum.
When I was about 13, I got an upgrade that made me better at pulling myself.
Waiting for that.
And also make sure that you might want this too, Phil.
Yeah.
Make sure you're constantly pulling up.
Yes.
Don't
Because
encourage
you
him.
don't-
Yes.
Up, you say.
If you're not pulling up, then you
Okay.
you'll smash your face into the ground.
Well, I tend to drift to the side on occasion, so yeah.
might
I'll
wanna
aim. Yeah.
Reconnect the controller, disconnect and then reconnect it.
Yeah.
The
Ooh.
sticks can drift.
Now that sounds like trouble.
Okay, moving on.
Can't wait to get back into it.
You'll play, Just Cause 3. I think
Can't wait
it
to
will
get back
live up to. No, again, that's the only thing is just it's know what you're getting into when you play it. Because I think I forgot who it was on Twitter who was talking about it. Man, I forget what I was talking about, but it's a shallow game.
You know what it
Doesn't have-
reminds me of? It reminds me of Crackdown, actually, with a different.
I didn't
Yeah.
expect anything more than that
theme.
from Just Cause. I mean, that's always been the best part about that game. Is like,
It is
here's an
make
island.
your own mayhem.
shit.
I don't want to say it was Rich who said this, but I apologize if it wasn't you, Rich. But I think like someone said, "Oh, like the characters are really shallow and the dialogue is terrible." I'm like, what are you expecting?
True.
Like, you know what you're getting. You played Just Cause before. You know what you're getting into. It's a incredible machine to
Yep.
do crazy physics stuff, blow stuff up, get in cool vehicles, and then just ruin the lives of most of the people you're trying to save.
Exactly. It's about as deep a story as any of the Far Cry games.
I remember watching this video this week of him. He was in, I don't know, some sort of fuel power station or something. There were a bunch of fuel tanks around, and
That's
he
the whole
grappled.
game.
Yeah, and he grappled one large, like, round fuel tank, and then one sort of cylindrical one, and then made them pull together. And he just turned and started walking away. Walking towards the camera behind him, everything just crumbles in on itself and explodes. Like, it's just this massive. I was watching, it's like, this is why I want to play this game. Like, it's just stupid.
It
Oh,
is-
I just got my code for a copy of Just Cause 2 on the Xbox One as well because I pre-ordered it
Good
digital.
deal.
You get the
Just
second
Cause
one.
2 was a good time.
That's a great promotional opportunity that Microsoft is doing. That is
Yes.
really, really cool that they're doing that for you.
And
that's
hey,
awesome.
maybe you never know. Sony could get in on that too.
For $15. Moving on to. Do we want to talk about Earth Defense Force 2 of the Vita?
No, I was just gonna say. I just want to say because I talked about this with you guys last time. I've been playing Star Wars Republic Commando on the PC.
Oh, right on.
That game is really, really
Yeah, that's a
good.
good game.
And it holds up. Like it is Halo Recon. Halo Reach.
I
But
feel like
Star Wars.
that game got a lot of good press when it came up, but I feel like it didn't make a huge impact,
Oh,
which
it's
is a
like-
shame.
Like playing it, I was like, wow, these are like systems that seem new today, like games that
Yeah,
are just
it was
implementing
quite
now.
good. Yeah.
Really impressive, and it was $1 on the Steam sale, so
Nice.
I guess it was worth it. I mean, it was a little expensive. I want to hear what Phil has to say about EDF because EDF 2 is just EDF 1, but more EDF on the Vita.
Well, the EDF on the Vita is actually a remake of
EDF 2, right?
the original EDF 2 for PS2,
Right.
$15.
which was it's $15. No, it's
$40.
no,
a $30.
it's an enhanced remake. It's
Mhm.
Obviously they have redone it from the ground up, but yeah, EDF 4.1, The Shadow of New Despair, which is
Wow.
yes. EDF, by the way, is
We all
Did,
like these games, right? We all recognize these are great.
Tetsuya Nomura titled that game.
Earth Defense Force. My problem with it is that the characters are not very deep. It's pretty shallow
The story.
from a storytelling perspective.
Right.
Pretty
Wait a second.
pretty disappointing
Mhm.
in that sense. No, EDF. The EDF series is fantastic.
Thank you.
Kevin, you know that.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You know that.
It's
But,
fine.
all of a sudden, Kevin punches his camera. I think I upset him.
No, it's just the I think it's like you, me, and I think the last person I talked to EDF about was John Riccardi, and I think they'd be
Oh
like the only
man,
three people that appreciate
no,
how
EDF.
awesome that game is, and just how
EDF
it's like Just Cause but with bugs.
is the finest aged cheese. I love it.
Yeah, totally.
EDF 4.1 is a updated port of EDF 2025, which was a 360 and PS3 game. They have added a bunch of new levels to it. It's 60 frames a second now. From what I understand, I am like CJ. I am no frame rate.
Snob.
No, you know what? I'm one of those people who can't really tell unless I'm shown to videos like back to back.
Yeah.
You know, if I see a game running in 30 frames a second, then they like immediately after, oh well, here it is in 60 frames. I go, oh yes, I can clearly see the difference.
Right.
But you know, otherwise I can't just my eyes do not detect frame rate on its own. But it's an enhanced remake, and it is outstanding. I'm maybe a dozen or so levels into it right now, and man, I just ridiculous love for that game. You just get swarmed with ants, or they have those flying scout ships. I mean, there's a couple levels where I faced where it's just legions of those being dumped on you from the motherships. And actually, I just had my first mission where you have the the motherships hovering over the city that are opening up and dumping the bugs down on you.
Yep.
And you have to get your missile launchers armed and actually shoot up into the ships while they are dumping the bugs on you, because if you don't destroy the motherships, the level will just go on forever. The goal is, of course, to destroy the motherships, and just the satisfaction of pumping a few missiles into those and watching them just blow up and start crashing down as people are screaming and running away. It is quite a hoot.
The Randy Quaid.
And exactly. And you know who is obsessed with that game right now?
Who?
My 3-year-old son thinks that they are the best thing in the world. He will sit and watch. He will demand that we play the ant game or the bug game.
Awesome.
And we'll play through a few levels, and then he will say, "Okay, now turn off the game. Let's go in my room, and you can be the guy, and I'll be the bugs." And we get to play real life LARPing EDF, where he attacks me and starts crawling all over me like a bug, and I have to use missiles to blow him up. So it's a game that brings families together. And you know what? And this is the time of year when you really want to you know what? Earth Defense Force 4.1, The Shadow of New Despair, is the reason for the season. So
I thought Pokemon Picross was the reason for the season.
Yeah,
Pokemon Picross is the reason for is the reason for a 3DS, and it's also you've been playing it, right, CJ?
I have.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
Seward.
What's wrong?
Okay. Well, okay. First of all, you like Picross?
Love Picross.
How much do you like Picross?
I'm trying to figure out if I love it more than I hate Pokemon.
Okay, so
Are you
there's
asking for dollar value.
Here's a question. If Nintendo were to release a new Picross game on 3DS for $30, would you buy it?
Yeah.
Okay, then you might be safe, as long as you can get around the Pokemon aspect of it. This game, it's free to start.
That's right.
And boy, do they mean free to start, because if you really want to progress, you are going to have to pay. unless
really?
you.
There's no.
Well, here's the thing: you are going to have to pay, or you're going to have to wait. in a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
you're
cases,
gonna.
right?
Yeah, but in this case, you're gonna have to wait like a long friggin' time. You're gonna have to wait like weeks. Okay, the way the game operates and it's in its free to play aspect is it has this little in-game currency. They're called like what are they? Picrites or Pictrites? Pictrites. So Pictrites. When you first start the game, you have a couple tutorial levels, and they throw in Pictrites at you left and right. Oh, here's 50 of them. Here's 70 of them. Go nuts! But once you get out of that tutorial mode, it turns into, oh, hey, you solved a puzzle. Here's 4 Pictites. Okay? They really ramp down the amount of Pictites you can earn for free.
That's true.
And what the Pictites are used for in the game, first of all, you need them to unlock levels.
Mm-hmm.
You start off the game, you end up in an area, and an area might have 5 or 6 puzzles. And once you solve those puzzles, then you have to pay these Pictites to move on to the next level. And that can be like, 70, 100. They start. It gets pretty expensive to move along to the next areas. You also need the Pictites to challenge.
Pictrites, yeah.
What did I say?
Pictites.
Pictites, Pictrite, like it friggin' matters. You need gems.
They look like energon cubes.
They're gem. They do. They look like little blue.
You're actually
energon
selling me
cubes.
on it when you say that. But yeah,
I'm just gonna call them gems because that's what they are.
pretty
in every
much.
other
Really
version.
outrageous.
You need them to. Do you need them to fight like legendary Pokemon?
I don't know.
Because I think once a day, a legendary Pokemon shows up on your map, and actually no, I don't think
Sounds
you do.
really convoluted.
It is, it's very convoluted. The game
But-
also does not explain it at all. The game really does a poor job of sort of introducing you to here's how the UI works and here's what you're going to need the stuff for. Later in the game, not super later, but once you get a couple levels in, you can mega evolve Pokemon show up. Okay, and these are just basically extra hard puzzles, and the only way that you can play those puzzles is to spend like 100 or 200 gems on a pencil that
F that.
And not only that, but you have an energy.
Here's the thing.
No,
I mean,
no.
continue
Hold on.
talking about the free-to-play mechanics of this game,
Yes.
but let's cap it with this, which is.
I got one more smack against this game with the free to play.
Right. Go ahead.
It has an energy meter.
It does.
The energy
For
meter.
some things.
Well, for solving
actually-
puzzles. For
Yes,
solving
okay.
puzzles. You have
I thought
basically.
you meant the timers on the refresh on Pokemon.
No.
That's a
You
separate
have.
thing.
You have what? Yeah, I know.
The energy bar, yes.
Convoluted, Greg? Yes, it is.
This conversation is convoluted.
You have an
Here's
energy
the
meter.
thing.
You have an energy meter.
CJ won't let him finish.
When CJ really
The hunter
wants to
has become
defend,
hunted.
once you when you have a health meter, basically your energy meter. When you're playing a puzzle, every time you fill in a block, Greg,
Yeah.
every time you fill in a block in a puzzle, it takes away 1 energy point from your energy meter.
Correct.
When your energy meter drains, oh no, sorry, you're done playing. But wait, I haven't finished this puzzle yet. Yeah, you don't have the energy left to fill in these blocks. Unless you want to pay gems to expand your meter, or if you want to do that.
This is the most free-to-play game that Nintendo has done yet. Like
it is a horrid free-to-play model. It is terrible. It is convoluted.
It has all of the trappings of Candy Crush, like
Yes.
all of the like Japanese dungeon games that do very similar things, set up in very similar ways. This is definitely the least free to start game that Nintendo
It
free to start.
is-
It's
that last Pokemon Puzzle free-to-play game they brought out, like you could play a long way into that
Yeah.
game without having to
No.
pay
you
anything.
can play a fair way into this mostly, but
If you really like 5x5 puzzles and a handful of 10x10s.
Yeah.
But again, as a free-to-play experience, it is dreadful. It is convoluted. It is confusing.
you could pretty much
It
put any
is.
free-to-play mechanic up to that, and you'd probably say the same thing.
Well, of course I would. Of course I would.
I wouldn't.
I don't think it's that convoluted, honestly.
Well,
but
maybe it's just the way you
I'm-
guys were explaining it, but it
as
sounds
part of
like
it, I'm used to free-to-play games on mobile, and I don't find this as objectionable as Phil does.
And I am no fan of free to play.
Yeah.
There are very, very few games. Now there have been some free to play games that have done an exceptional job of it.
Yeah.
And in some
Where are
of
those
those
games
cases,
now? Which
CJ,
games?
CJ's not hearing this.
no, CJ is not hearing this.
What do you mean?
Huh?
I'm hearing it.
You're in
Oh.
CJ's house now. my
There
friend.
are
Yeah, I'm
there,
sitting
there
at the
have
top of the stairs listening to my parents argue downstairs.
Let's
Yeah,
cap
really.
it off with this, which is the fact that if you spend in this game, they
actually
keep
CJ.
they keep
CJ?
tabs of it, and they turn off the gems if you spend $30, and you
Yes.
don't have to do that anymore.
Okay, well
So-
that's something.
That's what I'm saying. If you are willing, because I did. I
Yeah.
did after I played through and I was like, you know what, I'm really digging this. If this was released at retail for $30, I would buy this in a heartbeat. So I threw my $30 at it,
There you
opened
go.
up everything. It's fantastic. If you're
Yeah.
willing to spend $30 on it, awesome, get it. It's great. There are some really cool features. It has a lot of every puzzle is a Pokemon that you collect. The Pokemon all have special powers that
Mhm.
you can use to help you solve the puzzles, which is really great for people who are just starting off with Picross.
And the way I look at it is this: like, it's a perfect way to get people into Picross. Like, if they've never played
Yeah.
it, here's a free game that actually lets you play quite a ways in without like starting to pressure you to buy anything, and then it keeps tabs on the amount of money you've spent and caps you at $30 and just unlocks everything after that point.
I
And
will give
CJ?
them that. That's definitely, if you're gonna go free to play, that's definitely the way I
For
would
all
see
of its free-to-play evils, and let's just say that yes, it does have all of the free-to-play trappings that iOS and Android have. It uses the cap very well,
It does have the cap, which is nice.
and it informs you of the fact that it's there right up front.
Oh yeah, they are not
So-
shy about telling you. Yes, if you and it keeps telling you, oh, if you buy 4,000 more gems, you can unlock unlimited ones and stuff
Yeah,
like
if
that.
you spent $10 more, then
CJ?
we're gonna do away with all this stuff. Yeah.
CJ,
Yeah.
free to play games that I feel have done it right.
Yeah.
Fruit Ninja.
Okay.
Where are they? I haven't heard of them. Like, are they still around?
Yes, they are still around.
Jetpack Joyride. Jetpack Joyride
Yeah.
has done
Are
a
they
really
in,
fun job of
are
it.
they in top grossing? Where are they in top grossing?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I have no idea.
It's getting a little too businessy. All right.
let's
I have
move
no
on.
idea.
Let's cut it off. Anyway, Pokemon Picross, I think, is a really fun game. People should give it a try. If they don't like the free-to-play mechanics, you can get rid of it,
Yeah.
rid of that aspect, and then, as you
Yeah,
say,
I
the
like-
game's
It
perfectly
sounds like
serviceable
a fair
and fun.
price. It's not like
Yeah.
like you said, Phil. I mean,
Yeah.
if that came out as a cartridge for
Right.
$30, I would just go out and buy it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's just it. That's just
So,
it. If you're
yeah,
if you're
that's
looking if you're looking to get a free ride off of it, if you're looking to just say, "Oh, I'm just going to play this and not pay," you are going to hate it.
I wouldn't say
And-
that.
Nah.
Well, let's
You're not-
pretend that you would for the sake of moving on in the show.
Yeah. But I would say I think it is well worth the $30 as a Picross fan and as
There
a
you go.
Pokemon fan. I have absolutely no problem paying full retail price for it.
All
There
right.
you go.
So
We should have started off with that.
Well, Phil was that was you know what Phil structured that very well.
thank
you
you.
got the crowd down, and then the big
Down.
finale where
And
everything's
then you
cool.
bring it up.
Yeah,
You
All right,
bring it
all
up.
right.
which leads
Yeah.
us nicely into Halo 5.
Ah,
That's all I've been playing this week. Actually, I lie. I picked up Drive Club again so I could play the bikes, and I mentioned that before. The bikes are awesome in that game. I haven't gone back and tried the driving again. I might do that soon just to see what it is. But yeah, so I played through Halo 5, played through co-op because I was playing through single player. Wasn't having a great time. Played through co-op, had a better time.
No.
But campaign is super short, like 6 hours, and it's better than Halo 4. I will say it's better than Halo 4. I've heard that the multiplayer, and I'm not a multiplayer shooter guy. I've heard that the multiplayer though is quite good this time around. That the 343 actually did a great job with the new modes and leveling the playing field a little bit. I don't think there's a lot of stuff hidden behind gameplay walls, like having to earn this and that and the other thing, which I think is what really killed Halo 4. And the story was actually a lot more easy to comprehend this time around, which was cool, although it was still a little bit over the top. We were just calling everything by their space equivalents by the time we were done playing the game. On the space elevator, wearing our space turtlenecks.
That space elevator is nice.
Ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
What the hell's
We're
the point?
halfway up. Oh wait, here are some more enemies.
Yeah.
How are they getting on this thing?
Exactly. How are they getting on this
It's
thing?
an elevator stage. It always
Double
stops
dragon
at
syndrome.
different floors and dudes
There's no
come in.
floors though. There are no floors.
CJ, shut up! They don't know that.
But no, there
Can you
was
put your
there
finger
was
on
some
why you
excellent-
like this better than 4?
Pardon me?
Can you put your finger on why you like 5's campaign more than 4?
Mostly because I understood what was going on.
Not
with
like the
4,
action
by
of
the
the
end of
gameplay or the mechanics or anything like that?
the gameplay, I mean, one of the things that they did a lot of in this game, which I've always liked about, and I can't remember if Halo 4 did a lot of this, because I honestly it could have just been that I wasn't in the mood for a Halo game back then. I don't know. But one of the things that they really did well in this game is that the balance between like nothing happening and something happening was a little bit better. That whole, what do they call it, like the 30-second loop or something?
Mhm.
Way back when Halo came out, Bungie talked about it a lot, where it's like, we have a bunch of intense action, then you have like 30 seconds of nothing. They felt like they got that rhythm
Okay.
a little bit more this time, which 343 I think has struggled to do that. And the other thing that they did right is that they actually have multiple factions
Mhm.
in the game, and for a lot of the time, they were all present in the levels. So there was a lot of, like, you'd walk up to a big battle, because near the end you were just basically walking into one huge battle after another.
Mhm.
And me and Ryan, the guy I was playing with, at first we were just sort of running in guns blazing, and you're overwhelmed almost immediately, right? Which
Mhm.
is cool. That's what you want. You want it to be very intense. Then it was like, well, wait a minute. Like, when we realized what was going on, it's like, no, let's stand back. Like, let's find some, we'd find cover and snipe for a while, or just sort of, seriously, just let them kill each other off. And it worked.
Mhm.
And I always loved that about Halo. Like, in the first Halo, there are moments like that once you find the Flood, right?
Mhm.
Like, and it was one of the strongest parts of that game too. So
Totally.
it was sort of evoking that feeling, especially near the end, which I really liked. The disjointed, like, multiple fire team story, yeah, whatever. Like, half the time you're playing as Chief and his fire team, and half the time you're playing as fire team Osiris
Lock.
with Nathan Fillion, and yeah. I don't really care so much about that. It kind of actually made the story a little bit disjointed because you're jumping back and forth so much.
Mhm.
But in the end, I understood what happened. The story made sense. I liked the way it ended. And I will definitely, like, this was kind of the last gasp for me for 343 Halo games. I will play the next one for sure. Like, I liked it enough that I'll play it again. Although I would like a longer campaign. This was not a lot of content. I realized that I'm the lesser of the two markets they're really aiming for.
What difficulty did you play it on?
Oh, just normal difficulty.
Oh, the snarky internet will say you have to play it on heroic to get the true.
I don't care what the internet says. Even if I had done that, it would have been long for the wrong reasons at that point.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, so I would like to see, and this is happening with a lot of shooters, right? I mean, I think the Call of Duty games have been like this too. The campaigns have been super short, which I find is a real shame, because that's where you get the big set piece moments, right? Which is what I've always loved. I mean, ever since especially like Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare. I mean, that moment when the nuclear bomb goes off, and you're just like, holy shit! Like I didn't expect that at all. You don't see that stuff in multiplayer so much.
I think those games are still there, though. They're just not Halo and Call of Duty. Like, if you look at Wolfenstein that came out last year.
Oh, I agree. But what I'm saying is, I totally agree with that. But what I'm saying is for something like a Halo or a Call of Duty, what I'd love to see them start doing is something that EA tried back with one of their boxing games a few years ago, where they sold the campaign separately.
Oh, right.
As a download for like $20, $25. Do that. I would much rather see that. If you're gonna release short campaigns, so be it. But like I would just love to have that option rather than going and spending. Because I mean, games here right now are $80+.
Right.
So I paid $80+ for this, and I had fun in the end. But now I'm gonna sell it while it's still worth something.
Cool.
So but still, it was fun. If you want to get it just for the campaign, I would not pay full price. It's not long enough. But I've heard that the multiplayer is quite good. That's what I've been playing this week.
There you go.
And
How did we miss that Nintendo Wii U is getting Minecraft?
None of us play Minecraft on consoles.
Because who cares?
You play Minecraft on my Blu-ray player right now. Like, it is on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How much of a missed opportunity is it, though, for that game to not be launching with like a bunch of Nintendo skins?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
That
would have been awesome.
Should be able special about it at all?
Nope. It's just like all the other console versions. They're gonna have pretty much all the same skin packs and everything that
even the Halo skin packs.
I think so. I think so.
Crazy.
Halo coming to Wii U.
No, it's gonna have the like the Simpsons and Star Wars packs and all the fantasy and big city packs and things like that. But how cool would it have been to be able to have like the Super Mario blocks and grass tiles and question mark blocks and things like that?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if part of that is because all the skin packs have to go to all the other platforms, and that may have prevented it.
Yeah, could be. But it's a bummer.
Nintendo loves sharing their intellectual properties with other companies and people on the internet. So
yeah,
let's do some tweets before we call it a night because it's almost 1 a.m. here.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Blah 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 blah.
By the way,
Here we go.
I met Wario64 at PlayStation Experience.
He exists. He's not just an AI.
He is a person and does exist.
Wow. That's unexpected.
Very cool. I actually met a lot of listeners at the show. So everybody who came up to visit the Adult Swim Games booth and say hi, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for listening. And it was great to meet you guys.
Nice.
Did you quick name all their names?
I don't know. I did not ask their names.
He'll be doing that over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Also, longtime listener Spitzarelli.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you get Wario64 to sign a game that you got for cheap? Thanks to
I should have. I didn't have anything on me at the time.
Oh, man.
Hey, for giving shout-outs to listeners who are kind of talking to us, Lichten is sending me a package in the mail.
Uh-oh.
So he listened to the anime episode we did a couple of weeks ago.
No.
Oh, boy.
He might be sending me some anime.
Can you do us a
This is
favor?
good.
Can you put a camera on your face?
Yeah.
Like, don't look at what the name of it is.
Well,
Just put it right into your player and just press play, and then have a camera trained on your face so we can get your reaction.
The best thing is I gave him my work address because I always feel weird. Like,
Yeah, good call.
I'm not going to give out my home address.
There
But
you
like,
go.
if my boss opens it up because he's like, oh, well, this is like, it's probably something you ordered for the gym. And then it's some. And then.
Anime. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just do a couple tweets here real
All right,
quick.
go ahead.
So there's one actually that. Well, okay, let's do. I got two here. So from hacker alias Jerkface Killa, where do you guys stand on PlayStation VR now? Still no price or date, but more games are shown. What's your buy price if you have one? CJ, I know you're not getting one.
I don't know. Probably not, because
You don't want to be sick all the time.
yeah, I'd really have to like try it, and there isn't really a killer app for me yet. I mean, there are a lot of good games, but there's not one that is gonna make me spend the money for it yet.
Okay. What about you, Philip?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't know. I'm not completely sold on it yet. I mean, I'm sure it's neat and all, but I don't know if it's a couple $100 neat or whatever they're gonna want for it.
I'm saying 300.
Yeah.
I would think at least.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you guys haven't been sold since Lawnmower Man 2, which immediately sold me on VR, and I've just been waiting since 1997 for this day to arrive. So I can't wait. Actually, I think it does look really cool, and I think it's really good that they're getting stuff like Rez out there.
Yeah.
Stuff that will get the hardcore people talking about this
Yep.
stuff, because up until now it's just been a lot of like weird multiplayer stuff and like the summer lesson thing in Japan, and there needs to be games. Otherwise it turns into the 32X, it turns into the Sega CD, it turns into the
Why you got to do that, baby?
no, I'm just saying it turns into those add-ons that didn't have anything to really sell the hardware. Like even the PC Engine CD had a hell of a lot of awesome CD-based games, and that was still a little bit of a struggle to get selling. So if they want it to be a success, they need to get Capcom, they need to get Ubisoft, they need to get some big publishers to at least have integration or some enhanced gameplay stuff with it.
Do you think just selling to the hardcore is enough, though? Like, would they have to do something like Madden VR or
really
like
have
a
to start.
GTA VR thing to get everybody else interested in it? Because there are a lot of people now who, buy a PS4 or whatever, and oftentimes play one game for a year or half the year.
I think it's an experience that you're going to have to get it, I'm going to have to get it, and then we have to have our friends over and show them this. Because as they mentioned multiple, 5 times on the stage, sorry, we really can't demo this well. You're going to have
and then they proved it by showing
that demo kiosk at the mall.
Well,
I think put your eyes where someone else's eyes were.
I think that Kevin's right in that I don't know that selling the hardcore is what's going to give that hardware longevity, but it's definitely going to push it through the first few months. Because those are the early adopters. You've got to have something that someone who would normally be an early adopter is excited about. It's not going to be Game Room.
Yeah, it's like the 3D TV. Like, oh, dude, Greg, you have to check out this thing that I got here. Put this thing on.
Yeah.
I'm serious. It has to be that experience.
Absolutely.
Also, it's going to be hard to sell the Best Buy when it's just left on the kiosk, like a Rock Band 2 set, not kept up, and it's probably broken now. And unless they have a representative at that store,
I was just gonna say I think they'll send representatives out with that stuff.
They're gonna have to.
The only way to do it.
Yeah.
You would think, but who knows, man? Like I said, they didn't. Those Rock Band 2 sets worked for about 35 minutes. And then there was just broken, the drums don't work.
So to answer the question, you're not sold?
No, I said Lawnmower Man 2 sold me. No,
so to legitimately answer the question,
there needs to be a game. There has to be a game. I know I will have a PlayStation 4 when Uncharted 4 comes out. That game that will make sure I have a PlayStation 4 in the house to play. And if they can find the game, which they haven't shown yet, I love Rez, but it's on my Xbox 360. They're gonna have to show me something that says, no, you need this. It needs to be the cool thing that you can do with it. Like you can watch movies.
I think that's coming, but I think a lot of the games too are sort of both. They're a PS4 game and they have a VR component, which I think is good to do for sure at the beginning. But I do agree there needs to be 1 to 5 games that are oh my god, I have to have this for VR, and this is the only way I can get that experience. So.
You know what would sell it to me? Have you guys seen Tron? You've seen Tron.
Mm-hmm.
If they could do something like remember the game they played with like the frisbees, like the discs?
Uh-huh.
If there could be something like that, but really, really
I can't
slow,
believe it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm sitting here with
really
this.
slow,
What's the next tweet?
and it didn't really work well.
How about
That
I'm
would
just
sell
gonna,
me on
I'm
that
just gonna
game.
say that I'm obviously I have different gaming taste than you guys when it comes to this. I was sold when they announced that Gran Turismo was going to be available.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now hearing that Drive Club is going to there'll be a Drive Club version. I don't know is it going to be the current game that has a VR component. I have no idea. Or if it's going to be a totally new game. But then Rez is just the icing on the cake for me.
I have a new spaceship for these.
Oh,
They figured out how to unlock doors.
Oh God,
Finn has new
how
spaceship
can they
footies,
unlock doors?
everyone.
They're animals.
No, it's like Fallout 4.
Are you ready for bed?
Yes.
Hey,
Huh?
here, show the internet your Pikachu impression. Can you talk like Pikachu?
No,
Oh, you're not going to talk like Pikachu for me?
it's only for people
Pika.
who like
Oh.
Okay.
live in
see.
the house.
Okay. No, it's only for people who live in his house. So,
Ah.
sorry, internet, you don't get to hear my kid talk like Pikachu.
Exclusivity.
Oh, wait, now you're doing it?
The theater character.
There we go.
Okay, give me a kiss.
I think this thing's going to be $2.99. I think that's
Yeah, I think that'll be the price.
we'll all
And Rez is the icing on the cake, and also the game room thing. It helped push me over the top with that too, knowing that I could play that with my kids.
Yeah.
Using that hardware with playing a game with my kids was huge. So yeah, I'm pretty much sold on one at this
It'd
point.
be like Wii Sports, like in terms of like party environment stuff.
Yeah.
It could be.
Which it could be. Dude, let's play some Sony VR and like Greg, you put on the headset this time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not not naive. It's a huge hurdle. It's going to be hard for them to sell that thing,
Yeah.
but they've sold me. So
Cool.
one more here, and we're gonna ask this one because we've got Kevin here with us. So it's from Hacker Alias Mega Man Fan 1500. Do any of you guys own the XRGB Mini? And if so, do you think it's worth the expensive price tag? For anybody who doesn't know, the XRGB Mini is an upscaler. It's an RGB upscale. Well, it's multiple different types of input upscaler for your older systems, among other things. And I own one because Kevin Larrabee talked me into owning one, and I appreciate it because man, does it make your old games look good.
It's like when I come on this show, I just try to get people to do really good things like play Persona 4 or get a FrameMeister. But I forget who I was talking. No, I was talking with John Riccardi, just to bring him up again. When he picked up, there's a new Retron-like console that came out in Japan
Yes.
called the
All
Game
right.
Freak.
Yeah.
And it's a Retron 5. Like it is, really
But
no better, no worse, but it has some support for PC Engine, TurboGrafx stuff.
Super graphics too.
What's that?
It's got super graphics on there?
Shit.
So those 5 games are playable?
Yeah.
five TurboGrafx games, which him and Mark really like. So what I will say is that if you do really want to have this original hardware stuff and you're dead set on not having a tube TV, or you really want to hook it up to a plasma, or you want to stream from those consoles, the FrameMeister is going to run you about $300, and you can just use Compositor S Video. You don't need to get into RGB cables whatsoever. It is not a requirement. It will still take your composite, like your RCA yellow, red, and white signal, and then upscale it and also add in scan lines so it doesn't look all blurry on an HD TV or a computer monitor today. So don't let the RGB cable investment scare you away. Just spend, it's like $300 right now. You can pick it up, and worst case scenario, this has been the same model for about 4 years now, and it maintains its resale value, especially if you're in the States. It'll actually sell for more than what you probably bought it for because people don't need to wait for it to get shipped from Japan to the States. And their latest firmware update actually had a significant difference in picture quality for games. So they're still upgrading the firmware on that thing all these years later. It's a really good investment if you want to play old games on the original consoles on a TV that is not a CRT. It's well worth it.
That firmware update too, I think it lets you save profiles now per system too,
Yeah,
which is really
it's,
nice.
It's super rad, and it's for us hardcore crazy people.
But it is great. I mean, I have and the nice thing is because I mean I'm big into the 16-bit game systems. Obviously, the Genesis is Super Nintendo, and both of those support RGB natively. So you don't need to mod your consoles. You need like a $20 cable.
Correct, and that's it. It's a $20 cable. Like people think, oh man, it's gonna be hundreds of dollars for RGB cables. No, go to Retro. It's like Retro Game Cable. It's a UK website. It ships from England or someplace in the UK, and you'll just be blown away by how good things.
If you want quality, buy Monster cables, folks. Don't listen to it.
And for any other systems that support, basically, if your system supports S-Video, you're getting a pretty damn good signal as well.
Yeah, and even I have problems with RGB from my Sega Genesis Model 1, so I actually go through my S-Video modded Sega Genesis instead, and it looks really, really good. And the big thing with this stuff is the scan lines. It is what makes a difference on these TVs when you're trying to not quadruple or more the pixels of the image. I take a 240p image and then upscale it on a TV that is not meant to upscale a 240p signal. That's why it's such a mess. So, go ahead.
Sorry, just not to cut you off there, but one of the things that I want to call out here too that's a really good resource is My Life in Gaming.
Yeah, totally.
It's a YouTube channel run by a couple of really good guys actually, and I think I just want to make sure I have the URL right. Yeah, so YouTube.com, My Life in Gaming, all one word, and they have a series of videos they just call RGB 101, 201, and 301, where they basically go through pretty much every old console and just give you tips and show you what an RGB signal will do for you, and they run everything through a FrameMeister. So if you're kind of on the fence about one, but you want to have that the old hardware and you want to have the old games, you want to play a lot of the old games on a newer TV, go look at their series. They're really fantastic, and they will even do things like compare it to like what a Retron 5 output is. So you get a lot of information in their videos, and they're really well done. So I highly recommend them.
I will be getting a game. What is it called? It's a Game Freak when I'm in Tokyo in March. So I'll bring one back and we'll see.
I'm interested in those just for the TurboGrafx stuff, but I only own like 4 TurboGrafx games, so I'm not buying one.
Right.
I think that's a show.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
CJ, I think you should do the outro because you know it better than I do.
Okay.
Thanks.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you would like to comment on something you heard, or perhaps ask us a question that we could answer in one of these fine shows upcoming in the future, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information, blog entries about Sega CD stuff.
I'm working on a new one right now. Should be up in
Excellent.
the next few days.
Generation 16 episodes.
Working on a new one right now. Should be up in the next few months.
And a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99.
Cheap.
Pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. We use one-touch communication with us via the emails and the Twitters, what have you. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application available for your listening device as well for that same and $1.99.
Also cheap.
You can find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can join our Steam group. You can check out archives of a lot of our shows and watch us live most weeks at the youtubes.com/P1Podcast. Follow our Twitter account to find out when we will be broadcasting our next live show. And if you've liked what you heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1Podcast to throw a few shekels our way. Helps keep the lights on and helps keep CJ swimming in those pick rights that he loves so much.
Only up to $30 worth, though.
So if you have $30, CJ could use it right now. If you have a couple
I have not
bucks
bought
left
any
over-
yet. I have not
You
bought any
haven't?
picked rights.
Really?
No.
You know what? Go in whole hog, man. Just do it, man. Unlock that game.
Okay.
Unlock it. Unlock it.
All right.
If you have a couple bucks left over when you're done, head over to generation-16.com and throw a couple bucks at Greg Stewart's fantastic web series, Generation 16, all about the greatest 16-bit system made by Sega, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you.
Yes.
Get your name in the
Yes,
credits.
Oh, there you go.
You can show
There
your
you go.
friends and family
Yeah, that
on the internet.
that and a couple of bucks will get you a cup of coffee and a fine how do you do.
How's your
CJ,
father?
Yes.
welcome back.
Thank you. It's
Glad
good
you
to
had
be
a good
back.
time.
Your dreams were your ticket out.
Thank you so much, CJ.
Sure. Thanks,
Greg.
Phil.
Oh,
Hi.
thank you. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you. Maybe decorate the tree next year. It'll be a little more festive.
That will be decorated next week.
Oh, okay.
Well, it'll be
Gotcha.
decorated tomorrow night. The next time you see it, it'll be decorated.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And a super special, extra double, triple thanks to our super special guest, Kevin Larrabee. Kevin, tell the internet where they can find you.
They can find me on Twitter at Kevin Larrabee.
No.
And-
Kevin, I meant your home address.
Oh, no, I'll give you my work address. And that is, again, very gracious. Send me whatever's going to be coming in the mail. But also, again, you guys do a great job, and the audience is outstanding in terms of support. You guys continue to be super nice to me on Twitter and stuff. And just to echo the audience, I'm sure a lot of people told you guys, but it was awesome to hear Mike back on the show last week. God damn, just don't go into Walmart on Thanksgiving. Holy shit. But yeah,
It was worth it for that story, though.
Yeah.
that was a hell of a story, man. Like you can also, don't worry, I did finish Ghost in the Shell. It was pretty good, and I just bought the complete series of Cowboy Bebop on sale on Amazon today.
Oh,
So
man.
$22.
a mountain of anime coming to my house.
Nice.
And Fringe. If you haven't seen Fringe, you got it. Best sci-fi show in the last 5-10 years.
It's great.
Just want to throw this out there, too. One of the reasons why we're recording at such a weird time again this week is we were doing our best to try to get Mike back on. We are working to try to figure out a schedule that we can get Mike back on. And if you weren't following Twitter or you don't follow him on Twitter, last week he sent in a very heartfelt thank you because we got a ton of positive responses when Mike was back on last week. And he's not gone forever. We were trying to say that he wasn't gone forever, but hopefully we'll get him back on again regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. Very cool.
That's all I got.
Next week?
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Good.
Canadian Christmas.
Excellent.
Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.
See ya.
Bye.